Before we begin, there's been some spicy new information thanks to our data miners. Please skip ahead to the timestamp on screen if you don't want to know anything. Now, there is evidence that 1, there is a new hero type potentially, and 2, we might be getting another skill slot, although that one could be anything. Last warning before spoilers, this is all just speculation, but the data itself is found from the in-game files. First off, the Tempest Trials boss for this month is Peony. Expected she was going to get a new ult, however, she does not appear to be an ascended ult like for Air and Fjorm. For the unit ID of the enemy Tempest bosses, they had the tag that labeled them as ascended ults. Peony only has a simple 2 added to her ID. Now, how do we know this isn't just a rearmed Peony? Well, first off, her new axe is not labeled as an arcane weapon. Second, she does not have the rearmed tag like Plumeria and all other rearmed heroes. That being said, we've seen other units tagged with a 2 in their IDs. On the Face subreddit, user SocranX or SocranX has pieced together that this most likely means Peony is the new hero type. Last year when we got rearmed Leaf, his enemy ID was also labeled with a simple 2. We did not know rearmed heroes were going to be a thing when Leaf was the Tempest Trials boss. Another case of this is Legendary Veronica. During book 6 when she appeared with her new outfit, we did not know if she was going to be a legendary or ascended alt at the time. The point being, Peony 2 seems to be another attempt at hiding whatever classification she's going to be until she's released, probably later this month. They didn't hide this for Ascended Air, so that probably implies Peony is going to be a new hero type. To further support evidence that something is happening behind the scenes, apparently the list of skills that make up a hero got updated. User 3Squarero or Esquero is in charge of the Fey Unit Builder website. They discovered that all heroes now have a new slot open in between the C skills and where exclusive sacred seals are defined. This is why you may have heard the new skill slot being referred to as a D skill slot. To be clear, we have no idea what this means, just that some new feature is there. To tie this back to Peony 2 from the Tempest story and her unit description, it is highly implied Peony's new power comes from another character. I will not show it off here, but there is separate artwork for that person. One speculation is that this new skill slot or whatever it is feature could be for having an inheritable pair-up unit who provides a bonus of some kind. The easiest comparison would be something like Engage's emblem rings. Another theory is that Peony will be able to swap with her partner, and they're both separate units, similar to pair-up rather than dual/harmonics. Now, we could go on and on about speculating and theorizing what all this means, but for now, just be aware something is up. Could be coincidence, but this kind of new restructuring behind the scenes could also be an explanation for why Ashura of all units was suddenly crashing the game. Another October, another Halloween banner. This year we are moving on from the dragon focus, mostly. We could see a dragon heavy banner in a couple months though for New Year's. 2024 is the year of the dragon and Fire Emblem has no shortage of those. For now though, we have a lot of Fey newcomers from Engage with Timerra, Seadall, and the young Lady Anna. Engage Anna is going to be paired up with Awakening Hannah, so keep your wallets close. Our last banner unit is going to be Flayn. We'll talk about everyone's stats and skills, plus discuss some general playstyles and build ideas. The 4-star focus for this banner is Halloween Seadall. You can get him at 4-star or 5-star rarity. As Engage's only dancer, Seadall retains that status into Fey. Unfortunately, unlike Legendary Lear, Seadall is not going to be punching people. Instead, he is a red infantry mage. For stats, Seadall has 40 HP, 40 attack, 46 speed, 21 defense, 25 res. He has a res super boon, and his speed is very impressive. Seadall will match the new Ascended set in speed, but as a dancer, he does have less BST to work with. Still, those offensive stats can definitely do some work. For old skills, Seadall has Dance of course, and then 2 rarer skills in Attack and Res Finish 3 and Infantry No Follow 3. Infantry No Follow is great for fast infantry teams who lack that effect. This is the first time we've had Attack and Res Finish 3, so if you want the tier 4 from Rearmed Ophelia or Brave Tiki, Seadall is a great fodder unit. The tier 3 skill itself is also pretty good. Now, for his inheritable red tome, Seadall has the Pumpkin Stem plus 12 might at start of turn if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grant plus 6 attack and res to the user and those allies. If unit initiates combat or is near an ally, grant plus X to all stats during combat. This stat boost is equal to 4 plus the highest bonus on each stat between the unit and allies within 2 spaces, calculated independently. Pumpkin Stem Plus is basically a super buffed up version of the inheritable Lion Tomes, part team buffer, part self-stat boost. If you need attack and res field buffs, Pumpkin Stem covers those. In addition, the user gets plus 4 stats and bonus doubler. However, this bonus doubler effect also takes field buffs from nearby allies. This partially counteracts lulls and panic on the user. If Seadall were to lose his field buffs, but his ally keeps them, he can get plus 6 attack and res in combat still. It's not a hard counter though, because Seadall still loses those actual field buffs. Now if Seadall were to have an ally with speed and defense buffs, he can borrow those as well. In general though, Pumpkin Stem Plus gives the user plus attack and res, plus 4 speed and defense. Feel free to add actual speed and defense buffs on Seadall himself. As a dancer, Seadall's main job is to support his team. Pumpkin Stem Plus grants attack and res field buffs, and infantry no follow benefits fast infantry teams. If you don't need no follow up for the team, you can swap to another support C skill. Speed and defense gap, for example, can cover the stats Pumpkin Stem doesn't hit. Any driver spurs work for in-combat buffs. If you're looking for a Sacred Seal, Seadall can run Infantry Hexblade, assuming you can protect him. There's always room for chill debuffs, including their tier 3 dual chills in the B slot. Warp skills are excellent to get into dance position as well. If you're looking for damage, Seadall easily inherits the Arcane Eclipse from Rearmed Ophelia. Since he has Attack Res Finish 3, you can get the Arcane Eclipse, Attack Res Finish 4, and Special Spiral 4 all in one go. You're gonna need Special Spiral 3, and you can't pick up all the times pulse, but this is still great value if you wanted a potential pre-charge special coming from your support unit. It even will pierce DR skills. For general combative perks, Pumpkin Stem Plus could be run with bonus doubler and a speed and defense buffing C skill like Oath or Menace, just pure stat stacking. We have bonus doubler 4 on this banner too. For fast specials, for Finish 3, Times Pulse would help, or more expensively, the new Pledge C skills. Flash and Blade works as well. If you want to double or not be doubled, no follow-up can be used in either slot to give it to Seadall himself. Seadall doesn't really want to take any hits, but you could run damage reduction skills if you want that Combat Dancer, Remote Sparrow, Ratchet Solid 4, etc. Overall, Halloween Seadall is a dancer with decent offensive potential. He seems intended for the Arcane Eclipse, which would be fun with a pre-charge special. If you don't want to go for a secondary damage roll, Pumpkin Stem provides field buffs, which you can add to, and Infantry no Follow is just a great skill to have around currently. Up next, Halloween Flayn is here to get her fish. She's a cavalry healer this time with 38 HP, 46 attack, 26 speed, 18 defense, and 46 res. Very min-max for attack resistance, and even has a res super boon. For cavalry healers, easily highest res and highest attack as well. However, not a lot of speed, which may be an issue if you wanted a 5-star premium damage dealing healer. For old skills, Flayn has a plethora of high-end healer abilities. Rescue Plus is the healing plus drawback assist. Holy Pressure is the 3 cooldown damage special, hard to charge, but it inflicts AoE gravity. If you have Brave Robin, Rally Spectrum plus Times Pulse on your infantry healers can actually proc this thing. Now, if you need stats, Flayn will also have Attack and Res Unity. Halloween Flayn has brought back Caduceus Staff, but super buffed up. The Kitty Cat Parasol has 14 might, built-in Wrathful Staff, and accelerated specials. For all allies within 2 spaces of Flayn, they're going to get 30% DR like before, and now also get Breath type cooldown and neutralize the foe's attack field buffs. For personal combat, if Flayn initiates or is near an ally, she gets plus 6 attack and res and a free follow-up attack. As a premium 5-star healer in 2023, Flayn gets the slang treatment and a relatively more offensive weapon. She can't proc her damage special in one go, but a free follow-up is just fine. Flayn is a bit more support oriented with her upgraded Caduceus Staff, 30% damage reduction for all hits except area effect specials. Those allies now get Breath type cooldown. They even get low attack to take less damage. Excellent support aura, just watch out for those feud skills. Flayn will bring a new B skill with her called Dazzle Far Trace, quite the literal name. It grants Far Trace Kanto remaining, it inflicts -4 speed on the foe in combat, and then prevents the foe's counterattacks. Dazzling Staff plus Far Trace all in one package. It requires Dazzling Staff 3 to inherit and is locked to Calves and Flyers. Previously, healers had to choose between the Wrathful plus Dazzling Staff combo or one of those with Kanto. Unfortunately, if you have a Dazzling Staff weapon only, then well, you're still in the same position. I assume there's going to be a Wrathful Far Trace one day, but who knows for sure. As a premium 5-star healer, in year 7, Flayn has better combat potential than most, slang, stats, and a follow-up. However, follow-ups can be blocked easily, and Flayn does not really have the speed to ensure she wins speed checks, even into slower tanks. Even if she doubles, she does not get her own Breath type cooldown effect, which means she cannot proc Holy Pressure despite it being 2 cooldown. It's pricey, but Holy Panic and Laser Strength can proc in 2 hits, assuming you get the double and not run into guard. If you can proc Holy Pressure though, Flayn could potentially get the AoE Gravity plus Contour Retreat. This is an annoying combo, especially with the safety of Dazzling Staff. If Flayn isn't in range for Unity to proc, swap over to Attack and Res Catch, or maybe if Attack and Res solo. Unity could be useful if she is attacked while near her team though. For the most part, Flayn wants to stay near her allies due to Kitty Cat Parasol's buffing aura. 30% DR, bread type cooldown, and low attack for allies is amazing. Pretty much any unit benefits from these, and you could even tack on more support perks like Infantry Speed Tactic for no follow-up, or stacking distance / close guard. Even Eye Recovery work for cleansing penalties with extra healing. With 46 base res, Flayn is definitely in contention to run some of the new res comparing debuffs. Defense and Res Ploy 3 is on the recent round Plumeria, and you can also get Stillwater 4 and Wings of Mercy 4 with it. Sabotage Attack and Res 3 also is an option. You will give up the Wrathful plus Dazzling Staff combo though. In general, Halloween Flayn is going to stir up some trouble like her base form. One downside is that she might be baited due to her larger attack range if you were using as a defense unit. However, if you can somehow help her charge Holy Pressure, that may end up working in your favor due to the AoE Gravity. In the player's hands, Flayn is a great addition for any team staying power, solid unit just to have around. Our third unit for today is Halloween Timerra. The last of the 4 main Engage Royals, Timerra is our infantry speedster for this month. Representing the infantry and lancers, Timerra comes with 37 HP, 41 attack, 46 speed, 46 defense, and 23 res. Very unusual stat spread, we don't see that often. Relatively low HP and lowish res, but insane speed and defense. Timerra is like a more extreme Brave Dimitri. Highest defense for Lance Infantry, and she has a defense super boon as well. Timerra does use flat defense, so it's a good boon to have. For old skills, just the usual seasonal speedster selection, Vital Astra, Spurn 4, and Times Pulse 4. Honestly, I don't really think about it enough, but this is literally only our second Vital Astra holder. Timerra can supply a whole tier 4 Swordmaster build if you got Spurn and Times Pulse 3 beforehand. Timerra's Inspirited Spear is a bit long. First off, each turn, if any foe is within 3 rows or 3 columns of Timerra, she gives herself and allies within 2 spaces, plus 6 speed and defense field boss. At the start of the enemy's turn, for all foes within 3 rows or 3 column range, inflict the guard status on them, and if those foes use offensive specials, those specials are 1 or lower cooldown, and Timerra has higher defense than those foes, inflict -1 cooldown on that enemy. Let's stop there. If you want a speed and defense buffer to go with Seadall's attack and res boss, Timerra offers just that. We then basically have Racket of Sohm translated into Fey, -5 crit will become the guard status, and Timerra can uncharge specials. However, you need to meet 3 conditions for the uncharging. First, only offensive specials are included, which means this won't affect hardy fighter abusers. Second, it only uncharges specials on 1 cooldown or pre-charged. Because this occurs at the start of the enemy phase, I believe it will counter Times Pulse, but only when it's accelerated specials on 1 cooldown. The effects should trigger at the same time and cancel out. If you were to have a unit with a 2 cooldown special and they got -2 cooldown somehow, Timerra won't stop them because the special wasn't at 1 cooldown or less. It's a bit strange. Now, third condition, Timerra has to win a defense check. Her own +6 defense should affect this because we're checking at the start of enemy phase. Let's continue on. For personal combat, Timerra accelerates specials. If she has more than 25% HP, she gets +5 to all stats, inflicts attack speed and defense debuffs on the foe, deals extra true damage equal to 40% defense when her own special triggers, and after combat, Timerra heals 7 HP. Just like Heat's new weapon, Timerra's debuffs are equal to 15% of her defense at start of combat. With her field buffs, she hits 52 defense, so that's -7 attack speed and defense on the foe. Basically, it's like +12 to all stats for Timerra, effectively. For the extra burst on specials, this 40% defense scaling is kind of like Sandstorm. On top of Vital Astra, you basically get a slightly weaker bonfire's worth of damage for free. Healing Sustain is just the cherry on top for this cool weapon. Now, Timerra brings a new tier for upgrade for Bonus Doubler 4. We've kind of discussed it a lot recently. If bonus is active on unit or an ally within 2 spaces, grant bonus stats to 4 plus the highest bonus on each stat with between the unit and allies within 2 spaces. From a pure numbers perspective, this is literally Bonus Doubler 3, but +4 stats. The new effect makes it so you can take field buffs from your allies. Timerra has her own speed and defense field buffs. She can borrow attack and res field buffs if needed. However, you're not really doubling the attack and res buffs in this case. Timerra will get +12 speed and defense total, and then +6 attack and res total. Ideally, she should have attack and res field buffs on herself, so that would be +12 to all stats total. For the same reason, this does not hard counter loss or panic. It does give back some lost stats though. The main reason to use bonus doubler is that it affects all 4 stats. A full +6 field buff would give +10 to all stats from this skill alone, for a total of +16 total. If you were to lose the buffs, you could borrow from an ally. +10 to all stats is a much better consolation prize over the tier 3 version where you get nothing. In terms of playstyle, Timerra mostly follows the same ideas as our usual speedy infantry. Accelerated Vital Astra is pre-charged with Times Pulse. This will get the 30% dodge, and when it triggers, you add 40% of Timerra's defense as extra burst. With her base kit including bonus doubler active, Timerra can get 67 speed and defense. That equates to around 46 damage when Vital Astra procs, and this is a 1 cooldown special that is pre-charging and recharging. You even have Spurn's extra damage if she gets hurt. Before the fight begins though, Timerra can give herself and the team +6 speed and defense. On the enemy phase, she inflicts the guard status and uncharges pre-charged or 1 cooldown offensive specials. This should cancel out the 1 cooldown Times Pulse pre-charge setup. This means in combat though, Timerra has a good chance to avoid pre-charging specials, and guard also helps avoid higher cooldown specials like the Old Slang Bonfire. She can get a lot of stats with bonus doubler, though ideally, you're going to want Attack Timerra's field buffs on Timerra herself. She inflicts debuffs on the foe with Inspirited Spear as well as Spurn 4. For dodge, she can hit up to 65% DR. Like pretty much every speedy unit this year, Timerra lacks and wants no follow-up. Use the Sacred Seal or outsource it. If you go with the tier 4 B skill, you can get partial DR piercing, but no more 50% dodge from Spurn. This could be worth it if Timerra double procs Vital Astra. It only works on initiations though. If you want this power, no guard would be insurance. Velocity has this, but tempo is another option since Timerra can combine guard with no special charging. For some other skills, attack and speed finish is the default option for the dodge plus times pulse builds. If you think bonus doubler isn't reliable enough, you could double up on bonus doubler, but if you lose the field buffs, the tier 3 Sacred Seal doesn't have a backup plan. For self-attack and res buffs, Oath 4 is great. Panic Smoke 4 could act to a bonus doubler stacking kit. The issue with changing C skills is not having Times Pulse to pre-charge Vital Astra. Technically you can get around this, but self-sufficient is nice. If you want to meme around, Special Spiral 4 but Times Pulse 4 can recharge Ignis. It's not going to pre-charge it, but 120% defense as burst damage is hilarious, and you're going to have full DR piercing. Overall, Halloween Timerra is going to be another one of those annoying speedy units when fully invested and supported. If she keeps bonus doubler with full buffs and you do not neutralize those buffs, then you could be in big trouble. She may also mess with your low cooldown special spammers, so that's another thing. Hopefully you have some magic damage on your team. Our last unit for today is Harmonic Halloween Anna and Anna. Leading the pair is going to be Engage's young Lady Anna, and joining her is Awakening Anna. If you felt something was off or strange with their costumes, that's because these two are dressed as each other. Very cute detail. As a unit, Harmonic Anna will be an X Flyer with 40 HP, 44 attack, 47 speed, 31 defense, and 27 res. A little more of a normal speedy stat spread. Anna has a balance of defense and res while having excellent offensive stats, super boons in attack and speed, so pick your favorite, or both. For old skills, maybe that's not the right term, Anna is ready to make some dough because she's brought back Attack and Speed Prime 4 and Gambit 4. The Distant and Close Counter A skill is not even a month old yet. Reminder, it's usable by all physical damage units, and you need 4 status effects to activate your Distant or Close Counter effect. As for Gambit 4, it rewards those who use the higher cooldown specials. For their weapon, the Payday Pouch is a 16-point axe that grants +3 speed. If Anna has 3 positive status effects active, she will get Kanto 2. At start of turn, if she's within 2 spaces of 1 ally, she gets the no follow-up status. If near 2 allies, she gets the Hexblade status. When initiating or within 2 spaces of an ally, gain +5 to all stats, gain extra attack and speed, and if Anna has 3 active statuses, she gets half DR piercing. The extra attack and speed bonus is going to be equal to 25% of the foe's attack stat at start of combat, -8. To get the max +10 extra attack and speed, the foe needs 72 flat attack. Very fun weapon. Anna will put her magic growth rates to work with adaptive damage and no follow-up on a unit who hits 50 speed with maybe another 15 speed after that. Seems like a good idea. Similar to Spring Fur, Anna will also get partial damage reduction piercing. However, to get this, you're going to need 3 active statuses on her. You may have noticed, Payday Pouch only gives 2 statuses. Anna has a way to get that 3rd status, and you're going to want it for the DR piercing effect and Kanto 2. The normal way to get a third status will come from Attack and Speed Rain Snap. It's been a while since the first Rain Snap release, and I do think it's a solid skill. Like regular Rains, you inflict -4 attack and speed on any foes within 2 spaces. At start of turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an armored ally or a melee infantry ally, unit and those allies gain +1 movement buffs. It may not be Guidance 4's 2-space warping, but extra movement is still great, and Rain Snap benefits the user as well. It is only usable by melee flyers though. A little more restrictive, but if you feel like your melee flyers and infantry cannot get into the fight fast enough, then this could be a nice skill for your team. It works for ranged armor units too, so if you have a player phase bolt fighter armor, then it's not a bad option to have. With the +1 movement buff, this will give Ana her third status for the Payday Pouch. If you've been keeping track, Ana doesn't seem to get a 4th status effect for Prime 4's Distant Counter. If you want to do this self-sufficiently, you're going to need to use their Harmonized skill. Grants Resonance Blades, Resonance Shields, plus full heal Ana and allies from Engage or Awakening. For Ana, only, she's going to get -5 cooldown as well. Straightforward effect, and this is a 4th and 5th status if you want to use Distant Counter for a turn. Plus for all stats with a follow-up deny. With the full HP part, this seems a bit more suited to enemy phase usage. For example, initiate with Ana like normal. If she were to get hurt, you pop the skill to full heal, and you will have enough statuses to activate Distant Counter. As for the -5 cooldown, obviously this will pre-charge Miracle at any point. If you need it immediately, Ana can get it ready. If she procs Miracle and lives with 1 HP though, this skill can recharge Miracle and full heal to survive another fatal blow. Miracle and Aether are used for Gambit, but if you want, you can charge Gale Force as well. With the full team healing effect, you can also use Ana for multi-map content like in Seer Snare. Harmonic Ana, it's going to be a very fun unit. You have a lot of unique effects and probably one of the most premium of premium base kits to start with. The main goal is to have 3 statuses on Ana. She needs to start each turn near 2 allies for Hexblade and no follow-up. This ideally also gets Rain Snap active for the +1 movement buff. At this point, Ana will now have Conto 2, partial DR Piercing, 3 movement, and she gets the full +9 attack and speed from Prime 4. With Miracle and Gambit 4, you have 50% damage reduction and 15 true damage per hit. She gets a ton of attack and speed from Payday Pouch, and Gambit and the Rain is another -8 speed on the foe. You can then either proc the Harmonic skill early to pre-charge Miracle, or use it after for a full heal plus Miracle recharge. This also gets Ana enough statuses for Prime 4's Distant Counter. If you can pass on 1 status from a teammate, Ana can just have DC ready to go without her Harmonized skill, that would be ideal. For other skills, Attack and Res Rain 3 as a seal works because of Hexblade. You can go with any speed booster for more stats though. One downside to Ana's kit is the lack of special cooldown. If you were saving the Harmonized skill or you cannot use it, 5 actions for Miracle is quite a lot. Heavy Blade works fine, but you may want cooldown support like from Flayn. If you want to be a bit more aggressive, Desperation is nice for Ana, and by extension, the new aerial maneuvers Dive Bomb. No follow-up enables Desperation if she outspeeds, and Ana has Hexblade and partial DR Piercing to beat up tanks. Aerial Maneuvers has that 2-space warp, and Ana can get Conto afterwards. In fact, if you don't need defense, you could use the Harmonic skill to pre-charge AoE specials or Gale Force. You could just fly in, 2-tap an enemy with Dive Bomb, proc Gale Force, move again, then maybe use Conto as well. Ana's base kit is hilariously fun, but you have a lot of room to experiment. If you don't want 3 movement, Oath Force Warping is a fine replacement. If you want a lower cooldown special, you could swap to Guard Bearing 4, although again, Ana does not have Slaying. They really intend for her to abuse Gambit. Overall, an exceptionally fun unit. A little less absurd than Mr. Lethality from last month, but you probably can expect great things from a unit who walks in with Prime 4 and Gambit 4 out of the gate. That'll be it for this month's banner breakdown. We have some strong units and a ton of good fodder on hand as well. I'm tempted to summon, but I will withhold for a little bit. As we discussed at the start, something fishy is going on, and we'll probably find out in a couple weeks. I will reserve my orbs until then. Now, if you need more orbs, the Fort Nihility and Dreams Tempest Trials is out now. Our reward unit is going to be Kellum, who is making his Fey debut, and I think he's our first free-to-play armor or sword armor since year 1. That's kind of insane. We'll talk about it more next video. Good luck on your summoning. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.